I was laid off a few months ago, but thanks to a strategy that I'm going to share in this video, I've been able to keep making money while I've been unemployed this whole time. Well, how did I get here? Well, a couple months ago, I was working a full-time job that I really loved, and I got word that I was going to be laid off. But even at that time, I was seeing a lot of LinkedIn posts about other people laid off with decades of work experience and great accolades. And they were saying that it was even really difficult for them to find a full-time job. So myself, with a lot less professional experience and no bachelor's degree, I decided that I didn't want to stake my future on my ability to find a new job. So what did I do? Well, I went back on Upwork, which I've been there before, luckily. So I did have a profile with some good reviews, but I immediately started looking for contract work. And what I noticed is that there is actually a much higher amount of contracts now than there was a few years ago when I was on Upwork. And I think that maybe the reduction of the amount of full-time employee roles has led to this increase in contract work, as it's more efficient for companies to specialize their tasks and pay contractors only for the work that they actually need, instead of having to take care of a full-time employee with all of the added hassle that has come with that over the last couple of years. So what I was able to do was I looked at my full-time employee role and I broke it into some of the more significant projects that I was a part of while in that role. And then I took just a handful of those and really put a lot of effort into becoming a specialist in those. I really enjoyed projects related to BI, business intelligence, and setting up dashboards from scratch. And so that was the type of work that I started looking for on Upwork. And actually what I found is that by picking a specialty, I was actually able to bill around 50% higher than the hourly rate that I was earning as an employee. And yes, it did take me a handful of weeks, even months, until now I'm working probably 20 hours a week. But if I hadn't have done this, I would still be unemployed with absolutely no income. So I really can't complain. But I'm almost at the point where I no longer want a full-time employee role. As I keep getting more and more work, it'll give me the option to make way more money than I was as a full-time employee, and then even turn that into my own business, which I can grow and grow and grow and not be limited by my employer. But I haven't gotten there yet, so I can't advise you on how you should get there. But what I can advise you on is getting your first couple of contract roles, maybe after you've been laid off or even while you're working a full-time role, to diversify your income. So I would recommend taking a similar approach to what I did with my full-time role. Look at all the significant projects that you've been a part of, and then take those skills and become a specialist in that type of work. There are a couple of good contracting sites out there, but I focus solely on Upwork just because there seems to be plenty of good contracts for me to apply to there, and I also have a good profile built up. So I would recommend making an Upwork profile. There's lots of videos on YouTube on how to optimize your profile for a certain specialty, and then start applying for contract work that way. And in addition to that, if you're still employed, I would start piling up as much cash as possible, because it really helps to take the pressure off during a possible layoff or a transition to full-time contracting. I was very fortunate to be able to do this while I was working full-time, and it made the transition so much less stressful. My wife and I have been fortunate to always be able to save a lot of money, even when our household income was only $27,000. And we did that by using an unconventional method that I outline in this video here.